Yeah, I've talked about how China can basically win World War III without firing a bullet. I'm going to give you just a rough kind of example on how that can actually happen. Alright, so what is up everybody? Thanks for checking out this video. Any support for the channel is awesome. I do appreciate it. In China, there's a few different ways. I'm just going to throw up a couple examples on how this can happen. Right now we're getting a move away from USD. The value of the US dollar is making things more and more expensive as inflation goes up, as the market is flooded from China by selling bonds, and everybody, I mean, people are following China's footsteps here on getting out of the bonds, getting out of the US market, getting out of US debt. This could all be for a purpose other than putting an instant hurt onto the United States. They have a thing called BRICS. I'm sure everybody knows about BRICS. If you don't, it's Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. They have a system put together to where they're trying to move away from the USD. They want to be able to trade freely with their own currencies, and they want to have a better socialistic type system, BRICS, to be the world currency. It's a little more fluid. It's a little more liquid, I think is the word. You can kind of come and go. You can use whatever currency you want. Is it a better option than the USD worldwide? The petrodollar is gone, so there's a big step right there. And the US dollar is on its way out as well. So it's all going to come down to hurt in the United States. That's pretty much their whole plan, is to grab the United States and squeeze them, and then squeeze them a little bit tighter, squeeze them a little bit tighter. Now, if they squeeze the US economy, now, I mean, let me touch on this real quick too. That a lot of people are talking, and I don't know the macroeconomics of the China system or anything like that, but a lot of people say that China's falling, China's hurting, China's right on the line of death to their economy and all this kind of stuff. Well, I don't know about that. I'm not going to vouch for that. But I do hear that a lot, so I just wanted to throw that out there. But as the United States currency falls, they are going to offer a better solution. They're going to offer something that isn't going to be $25 for a loaf of bread. If you use it with a BRICS currency, maybe it's going to be $5. As much as people of the United States, patriots and Americans, do not want to do that, eventually, this is going to be the theme, enough is enough. Yeah, this can happen. I'm just talking about the economics of it. You also have the other 200 ways that they have planned to do this with the United States and America. But just focusing on the economy and economics. Let's take another instance. Make America great. Trump. Exactly what Trump's doing. He's shooting himself in the foot. He's shooting us in the foot. And I'm sure China knows this, and I'm sure China's going to be able to take advantage of it. Putting tariffs on everybody, going heavy on the tariffs in China. Now there's a kind of a funny thing here. Let's take cars for example. China's putting out cars for $6,000, $8,000, good quality products. They're making Teslas for $15,000 that are equal to a Tesla, if not better, because they got the Tesla, then they were able to improve on it the way that they want to improve on it, make it a little bit better. The technology that they have in vehicles, they have vehicles that can go off-road that glide, and the tires are just kind of doing this, and it's all done with artificial intelligence, camera systems to predict what's coming up on the road, and it will move the suspension so you don't even feel it. Do we have that here? No. They are beating us in the game. Unfortunately, and I hate to say it, American cars are crap. Ford has the highest recalls. Chevy, I like Chevys. I'm a Chevy guy for American, for the American brands, but they're kind of crap. I mean, at 100,000, who knows what you're going to get. You're not going to have a good vehicle. I have 215,000 on my Tacoma. I've done basically nothing to it, a couple minor things. I might have a rack and pinion issue going on, but I've just put a lift kit on it. But it is as solid as it gets, a 2008 Toyota Tacoma. Chevy, not doing too good. Not doing good at all. In fact, a Chevy with over 200,000 miles on it, I probably wouldn't want to drive it. Sure, there's some good ones out there. There's exceptions to everything. Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Stellantis, they're just about going bankrupt. I mean, the quality of product that they're putting out is crap. Yes, they have 900 horsepower vehicles, but that's all they got. And they've been riding on that for a while. China is putting out cheap economic vehicles and good quality. And they're leading with EVs. If people want EVs, you're going to want Chinese vehicles. Now here's the thing. Trump is wanting everybody to bring their business to America. It's just going to take the one time that China can work. They can work this situation psychologically, a lot of different ways, to be able to get the United States to drop the ban that they have on Chinese vehicles. Especially if the people and the citizens of the United States are stepping up saying, we need this, we need a fix. We can't pay $150,000 for a Nissan Sentra anymore. We just can't do it because that's going to raise the price of used vehicles as well. And you're going to be paying $100,000 for a used one because supply and demand. So this has the potential to get completely out of control. Our whole economy has the potential to get completely out of control. And China can step in. They can step in with a world currency that's going to be stronger, backed by more countries, accepted by more countries. They can bring in all the products. We all know Chinese products, Walmart, all these different things. If you want cheap shit, you buy Chinese. If you want maybe good quality and expensive stuff, you buy American. I do try to buy American as much as possible. I try to support small companies, even large companies. Even though I have a Samsung phone and not an Apple, but who knows what Apple is these days. But here's the thing. We have all these factories in China producing these things. Now, you already had tariffs before, and now we got strict tariffs. If they stick, apparently the Supreme Court is giving Trump a walk around the Constitution to be able to put these tariffs in place without going through the judicial system, which I find rather interesting. It seems like the Supreme Court is very much on the abating getting around the Constitution for Trump and our economy. And maybe that's a smart thing. Maybe we should kind of ignore that one thing in the Constitution for this. I don't know. I think we should stick to the Constitution. If that's what it is with tariffs, we shouldn't be doing it. But they're doing a workaround. So let's just say we get the 3 factories that produce all this cheap stuff into the United States like Trump wants. Well, if you break down that wall, you're breaking down pretty much all the walls with trade and being able to come in. Now, if they come in, hire Chinese people, keep everything basically the same, just move it from China over to the US and open a factory in Ohio or something like that. Well, now you're going to get flooded with Chinese stuff. They're going to take over whatever market the United States had on making Weber grills here in the United States. I don't even know if they're made in the United States, but pick your product, pick your US product. They're going to get completely undercut, and we're going to need that undercut because inflation is going to be going up and the dollar is going to be going down, and we're going to slowly hurt more and more because of China. China has been planning this. So as they put the squeeze on the United States, they can move in with a better solution. Communism, in the big picture, they can move in with a better solution under China that is going to make us happy. Now, this can get applied to politics, this can get applied to law, this can get applied to everything that we have in the country. We are open, and Trump opened a lot of this stuff for people to come into the United States and build the infrastructure of their economy for the country in the United States, under the United States. Now, as it seems that might be good, yes, we might get some of these companies that come over from Europe and other places that'll hire American. China is not going to do that. They have a lot of Chinese people here, and they can very easily bring in low wages and bring the Chinese people in to produce these things, and even more than they have already, they will take over the industry. Once they own enough of the industry, they own enough of the U.S. economy, they own the U.S. So, yeah, those are a couple instances, a couple examples on how China can do this. Now, they can do it with, like I said, hundreds of different things, hundreds of things that they already have their fingers in. They can start going and rearranging everything to support the final narrative of their plan, which is a takeover of the United States, which is a takeover of the world economics, military power, and everything, just as we did back in World War II. So, yes, this is very, very possible. Absolutely very possible, and we're probably going to start seeing some of these things come in. Now, we do have a blockade on a lot of Chinese stuff, but when is enough going to be enough? When are we going to say we're tired of it, we're sick of it, we need solutions, we need answers, we need things in place to save this country? Now, bringing a Ford plant back from Mexico ain't really going to do it. It's not really going to do it. Yes, I think some of the stuff Trump is doing is going to help the country, I hope. I don't know. Time will tell on all that, but yeah, China has these things in place for a very long time. They just need to say, okay, let's go ahead and do it. Of course, that's going to be combating anything the U.S. throws at it, but they also got a leg over on the United States as far as international trade, law, things like that. They've already got it. So it's not going to be too hard for them. And it can go all the way to the extent that our political system is broken. I always say I don't know. Our collegiate system is broken. Our pharmaceutical system is broken. Our military industrial complex is broken. Our healthcare system is broken. On and on and on. We're starting to come to light to these things more and more in these recent years about how screwed up our system is, how crooked our system is, how much they've been stealing from us, how bad we have been being treated, not including the social aspect of it with the haves and the have-nots. Yeah, my card died. 128 gigs just doesn't get you what it used to. So yeah, the final takeover, economically, politically, and all that. We got all these issues going on. We realize all these things. China can easily step in and say, yes, it's communism, but we can give you the free healthcare. We can give you a subsidized income. We can give you all these things that you are complaining about as Americans. All you got to do is say, okay, we are now under communist rule. It doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take a lot having all the things in place that China has in place. Now, if you're going to be Cuba and try it, probably not going to work. China has been working on this for over 100 years. Well, not over 100 years, it's 80 to 100 years. They got their shit together, people. They got their shit together. And they are planning it. Now, what we do to be able to stop this by putting up a wall with China, who knows where it's going to go. But China's got some game. They got plans. They got a system together to give them enough confidence to where they know this is going to work. So I just wanted to give you like a couple examples. I talk about this a lot, that China has this plan, that China has a silent warfare. China doesn't need to fire a bullet to win World War III and take over the world. It's things like this, and you can put it, like I've been saying, over 200 different aspects of trade and economics and politics and all these different things. When you start combining those together, there's a power in numbers. And it is very, very possible that we're just going to wake up one day and be like, holy shit, when did this happen? China controls this, China controls this, China controls this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And we're just going to be like, when did this happen? Who's responsible for this? And by that time, well, folks, it's too late. So just wanted to kind of throw this out there. Try to dig in a little bit more on what I'm talking about and what I'm thinking about, because I don't go into detail in many videos about this. I just kind of mention it, so I figured I'd kind of touch on one of these things that I just kind of casually mention in my videos on why I'm thinking this way and why these things can happen. So I appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. I have some gardening to go do. I have my chickens to go take care of, so I'm gonna go ahead and do all that. The old homestead life. Got a video coming out on that pretty soon too. So anyway, thank you very much for taking some time out of your day to watch this video. It is appreciated, and I will talk to you guys next time, and peace.